Guys, can we agree that traditional boxer briefs have been long overdue for an upgrade? Well, on a hot summer day, a U.S. soldier on his second tour of duty in Iraq had an epiphany. Why not put 3 separate compartments in your underwear to keep everything downstairs separate, cool, and comfortable? It wasn't long after Sheath was born, and this innovative design redefined men's boxer briefs. Sheath underwear reduces skin-on-skin contact, which minimizes the buildup of heat and sweat. Sheath underwear are the holy grail of underwear. Guys, you need camo. You ever been out in the woods and you just gotta go? You don't want to be seen? And what about these? When I put these on, I feel like an Egyptian king. But you don't have to take my word for it. Go test them out for yourself. Our friends at Sheath sponsored this video, and they're also giving you the opportunity to try them out for 20% off. All you got to do is click on the link below. Just make sure to use the promo code Chael at checkout. Or go to sheathunderwear.com/Chael and save 20% today. Wait, stop the presses. Hold everything. I just took a look at the card for this weekend. We don't have a middleweight on the card. Now, don't think you have to correct me. I understand that we've got an undercard. Stay with me here, though. We do not have another middleweight fight on the main card. When's the last time that's happened? Oh, no, really. Guys, stay with me here. There is something going down. Here's the recipe. Whatever you do in your main event, whatever weight class that is, you then feature a match on the main card within that weight class. It might sound simple. It's paramount that you understand to do that so that if you lose your main event, you have 2 guys who have been promised, who have been advertised, who have been built up, who are licensed, who are prepared, and who are there, that you can then move into your main event. Might sound simple to you guys, but there is a formula to this, and that is an added ingredient in the formula. We now have at the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, the World Championship on pay-per-view of 185 pounds. We do not have a middleweight bout featured on the main card. We're breaking a rule that we've learned to be extremely valuable. And I could go the other way with it. I could tell you about the time that Affliction, which was a really awesome event, Affliction really was great, went out of business. Josh Barnett versus Fedor. That fight falls apart. It was the main event. The entire event canceled. None of the monies that you used for marketing recouped. Company gone. And I could keep doing that. I could keep playing that game. As simple as it might sound, that whatever your main event is, you put in a lightweight class in a featured spot. That's not what's done here. Which makes me believe even stronger, right? I'm conspiracy over here. I'm speaking out of left. You guys know I'm sharing an opinion. I have no evidence to this, but I'm taking a look at that and I'm disclosing my evidence for you, which is for sure circumstantial, but there it is. Which strengthens my position that we have a backup fighter. I don't like the way backup fighter position is treated. I don't. I will fully admit that I could be wrong, as long as whoever's deciding this will concede back to me we've never actually tested it. We've only done it one way, which is to stay very quiet on the backup fighter. We did not make a big deal when it was Volkanovski, the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, completely undefeated, entering a new weight class, putting it all on the line, coming off of hand surgery. We didn't make a big deal about it. We do not make a big deal about backup fighter. I disagree. I think it's interesting. I see headlines coming. I see from a marketing standpoint, and I'm quite sure it's the marketing standpoint that is pushing back, saying, hey, careful what you ask for, Chael. This is going to backfire. You're going to confuse the audience. Your backup fight could outshine your main fight. Do nothing. Stay quiet. Just have it there in case. I get the argument. But it's never actually been tested. We never have featured that guy. We never gave a media tour to that guy. We never showed pictures versus each other and then put his picture down here small with an asterisk. Maybe. They got a backup fighter. There is no way that there is a main card go to Madison Square Garden for the World Championship and a rule, an absolute policy of well over 15 years is going to be ignored. which is to have that feature match. As a matter of fact, if I go down the card, I did find middleweights on the card. I only found one other match. Now, I'll admit for you, I looked at this pretty quickly, and I wasn't totally studied on the entire card of the 11. I'm just looking for the word middleweight. I noticed that it's not in the top 5. Wow. I mean, I can name them off the top of my head. We got Wei Lee. We got Dan Hooker's going to go out there. We got Dominic Reyes was actually on an undercard. I must tell you, we got Frankie Edgar, Gutierrez. I mean, we don't have a middleweight. I realize that I'm getting redundant, but I'm trying to make you process what a clue this is. This is massive. This is a massive clue. They're bringing in a backup fighter. Who is it? They're bringing in a backup fighter. I don't like the amount of tension, and I don't like how much focus is put on that backup fighter position. I don't know, as a matter of fact, a time in history where somebody said, can I be the backup fighter? And the answer wasn't yes. I think that we've always had good guys and we've always had good options, but I also think that it's an afterthought. I don't know that it is of paramount importance. Why would it be? You're not masquerading them around. You're not promising them. You're not giving them a PR tour. You're not negotiating with them. You're not doing all of the things. Why can't it just be somebody that can fog a mirror? I get that, but anybody that can fog a mirror at 185 pounds that is in a reasonable position to become a backup fighter, which largely has gone on to become an actual number 1 contender, Izzy's already fought. Izzy's already beat him. Except one guy. Except for one guy named Khamzat Chimaev. Who was rumored to have a number 1 contendership match with Colby Covington coming up in Q1 of next year and did not confirm that. Did not deny that. Did not touch that. Guy who weighed in at 178 pounds for his last fight that was supposed to be a number 1 contenders match at 170 pounds. It's a weird position. I don't argue for you that it's Chimaev that should be able to step in there. I would argue for you what a disastrous matchup Chimaev would be opposite Pereira, who is completely planned on taking on a straight-up striker. I could say the same thing for Izzy Adesanya. What a difference, and what a curve, and what a swerve. Or do we have somebody that Izzy's already fought? Do we have somebody that would be a meaningful favorite over Pereira? Because that's what it is. You could bring in Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker right now, just for example, versus Adesanya. It's going to be a comfortable underdog to the tune of about 3 to 3.5 to 1. Truly. But if Robert Whittaker was to fight Pereira, Robert Whittaker would be the favorite. I mean, it's a very interesting division in that regard. Some of the contenders because of the styles, right? I've even heard Adesanya argue that Pereira is a one-dimensional fighter. Now, I find that interesting when you're complaining about a guy having a dimension and only one dimension, but it's your same dimension. Like, I find it to be an interesting thing. It would be a very tough spot for Pereira, but it would not be a spot that Pereira is in a position to turn down. He is not the champion. He does not get to sidestep anybody. Adesanya's never shown any interest or belief that Pereira wasn't a man of his word who's going to show up. And Adesanya's also never sidestepped anybody. I mean, I'm just sharing for you that this is a Hail Mary pass. I do not believe within our sport we keep Adesanya's side, we keep Pereira's side, and we can keep Chimaev's side quiet. I'm sharing for you that I am extremely confident in sharing with you that we have a backup fighter. Who is it? Who is it? Because it would seem to me that he's got a leg up on the competition. It would seem to me he's in the mech. He's got to keep his mouth closed until Friday after the scales close. But then he gets to run rampant, and not to mention he gets a beautiful seat. Front row, the same seat that Volkanovski just had. It's hard to ignore that guy. It's hard to overlook that guy. There's a reason that history tells us the backup guy goes on to be the guy. You go from the front row to the cage. Who do you think it would be at 185 pounds? I mean, we're just having fun. We're just spitballing and throwing names out. We got 2 healthy guys in Pereira and Adesanya. We got every reason to believe that we're going to have a fight. We also have every reason to believe that the UFC would have a backup plan, and that backup plan is going to come through the curtain unannounced at 9 a.m. on Friday morning. Who do you think it is?